first backpacking adventure started on the North Country Trail in the Manistee National Forest. This is located west of White Cloud at the M-20 trailhead. We were going to hike 18 miles north. This was a guided trip set up through Apex Outdoor Adventures, Kentwood, Michigan. Amy, our guide, to the left in black, myself, Gwen, Tom, Amanda, and her mom, Wanda, all were going to embrace on our adventure on the North Country Trail. We started at 7:30 p.m. on Friday, hiking in a couple of miles and quickly setting up camp, as we noticed rain was moving in on radar on our phones. This trip had an emphasis on backcountry cooking. Everything was prepared ahead of time. All our meals were included in the trip. The rain came down for several hours, so we huddled under a tarp and had a no-bake cookie as dessert before we turned in. Saturday morning we got up, made some cranberry pan biscuits, and hit the trail.
How's it?
Good. How's it working in that pot, Wanda? Is it burning faster or no?
You could tell it rained the night before. The mosquitoes were out in full force and enjoying the hot, steamy weather in the morning with cloudy skies.
We are... I know. Should get you in the picture when we put on.
His wife can believe that he actually was here.
Who else would take pictures?
The forest changed a lot, from pine trees to old-growth forest and little wading ponds everywhere. We found a nice spot for our first break of the day. Certain sections of the pine forest had these crazy tree formations where different trees would explode out of the old growth pine forest. As we got to our first water source, a small creek, I was a little leery about drinking out of it, but Amy assured me my Aquamira would definitely work. We all got to experiment with different types of filtration, and then we continued down the trail. The thought of lunch in 20 minutes got us really moving. Each meal had two options, so there was a lot of variety. Right here is a tortilla, some salsa, tuna, and cheese. Yummy. Then we hit the trail. I yelled out snake just as Amy walks over top this little guy. Copperhead, fox snake, we're not sure what it was, but he sure was neat. It's amazing how every little stick that brushes your leg after that, you look twice.
Crazy.
We had hiked approximately 12 to 13 miles at this point. We were looking for water. We needed water. It was hot in the afternoon. The sun had come out and was beating down. We finally came across the creek, set up camp, and spent the night. This little creek brought our spirits way up. We splashed around in the icy cold water as it must have been spring-fed and was extremely clear for drinking. It was perfect. It was just what we needed on a hot summer's day. It was 5:36 o'clock and time for supper. That night was pita pizza and chicken cashew curry. Both were excellent. Rice sure did take a long time to boil, though.
Cook with that. So now we're not cooking with that. So I'm wondering if you even want to add that in.
The milk is supposed to be.
I sure did love that creek. I went back later that night after supper, spent some time down by the water reflecting on the day's adventure.
Well, we did it. 14 miles today total. Got another 4 to do tomorrow on Sunday, and we should be hiked out by about 11 o'clock. Just came down to the creek, treated some water, and getting ready to turn in for the night. Pretty tired. Got a gorgeous view here with this at this Bear Creek.
We socialized a little bit, a little dice game, had some cheesecake, and headed to bed. We were exhausted. Slept great that night. Got up. We knew it was going to be hot. We need to get an early start. Got out the cooking sets, had some eggs on tortillas, and a little oatmeal. We were off to hit the trail.
What brand are
Is that eggs?
We'll find out.
That's kind of nice to be able to cook.
It's like couscous or something.
Oh, remember couscous, Mom?
The consistency isn't really like an egg.
That looks good.
Maybe we should put some of those eggs in it.
Up to this point, we had seen deer, snakes, toads, and a scarlet tanger, which I'd never seen in the wild, a little red bird. But then we came across something really cool, some sand cranes in a marsh.
Yeah, those are cranes.
Our guess is we startled the sand cranes into the marsh. The red-winged blackbirds were relentless, not leaving them alone, so we kept moving on. For my first backpacking adventure, I got to experience it all. Some rain, a few bugs, a little bit of heat, and some great memories with some great people to hike with. Thanks to Apex Outdoor Adventures, especially Amy and Brad for setting up the trip. You guys did a great job.
I don't think this is quite it. I think we have a little further.